Ha ha! I am Trident, Lord of the Deep. Suck my cock to earn your keep. The deep sea land is mine alone, so get on your knees and polish my bone. As is the ancient tradition of the deep. I forget completely where we are. I know we're in the deep sea, but I forget what's in each direction because I can't see shit. Okay, I can't expand that way. I can maybe expand this way? Yes, I can. Dare ye fuck with Trident? Trident, I mean? I know my own name. Let's see, I need a chest down here. I have no wood. This is embarrassing, but I'm going to have to swim to the surface to get wood. Because for all the shit I have down here, I just don't have... Wow, look at how deep I am. Look at how fucking deep I am. I sound like a first-year philosophy student. It's actually far enough underwater where there's like a point to building down there. Not like here. Look at how shallow this is by comparison. Look at that, and then look at that. That down there serves a purpose. I mean, this served a purpose to because otherwise, if I wanted to build a workshop out here, it would have had to have been floating on the surface, which would have looked ugly and not been very secure. There it is. I might actually destroy that now that I don't need it anymore, because that's what I do with people. I mean, things. I don't need it anymore. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. I stick the bottle into my bum. Because that's how pirates choose to live. I got nothing that rhymes with that. I don't actually know if pirates did that. Probably if they got bored. I mean, imagine being on a boat for like 6 months with a bunch of crusty old like hobos. Not to talk shit about hobos, it's just that's not the average person's first choice of who to sleep with. Maybe there is somebody. Maybe there's a fetish out there of just having sex with the grossest dudes. Seems like probably there is. No regard whatsoever for the environment. Captain Planet's gonna come kick my ass. I've made this joke before, but for reals. You see what's happening. Anywhere I live, the coastline starts to look like shit. And I got complaints on a faction server that was actually what originally started people attacking my base. Because there's a faction's base on the shore, and we were on good terms with them. But I just started totally plundering all the fucking trees and sand. That was actually their main complaint, was not the trees. Because they could just replant that, but I would completely devastate the coastline harvesting sand for the base. And I couldn't stop doing it because this was when the days when the deep sea biome was all gravel, so my only source of sand was the shore. So, like many conflicts, it was down to each of us wanted a finite resource that the other had different plans for. Look at that. Look at how much fucking deeper that is. I can't tell you how pleased I am. Well, I can. It's just going to sound like a bunch of, like, orgasm noises, and you don't want to hear that. There's ASMR videos for that. Let's throw some shit away. I have so much fucking... How come I have so much, kelp? I need to do something with this kelp. I will be able to once I build this chest. Yeah, I really don't need that smaller habitat. I can just go destroy that one now. And I think I will. I mean, I hate to destroy underwater living space, but because it's valuable. But it's going to be an eyesore, I can tell. Where the fuck did the other shit go? Which way am I expanding again? I'm expanding this way. It means I can put the chest over here. Now I can start to stash my shit. Yes. At least the different kinds of wood don't turn into differently colored chests and shit. That would be upsetting. I can't say exactly why. Not having shit match bothers me. Dried kelp. Can I make kelp blocks with this? I feel like I can now. I don't know what all I'll need in a second, but I'm gonna grab some of this. And if I need more, I'll come back for it. Next up is to make a tree dome so I can stop going to shore for wood. And then after the tree dome, I need a garden because I'm going to run out of food pretty fast. But I really want to see what I can do with this kelp. Okay, I could swear that it was possible to make kelp blocks, but this is food, isn't it? I can eat this, right? Yes, I can. It's a shitty food source, but it's a food source. It's not very nutritious, which you wouldn't expect kelp to be. That means I can put off the garden for a little while because even though my terrestrial food sources almost run out, I've got kelp now. Fuck you, Mom and Dad. I don't need your fucking dinner. I've got fruit snacks. Isn't it weird how many commercials in the 80s and 90s were adversarial? They encouraged an adversarial attitude between children and their parents. It's like, your parents suck because they don't let you do whatever you want. We'll let you do whatever you want. We're like that cool, touchy uncle. And up it goes. And I'm already flooding my base. Let's see. Once I have a dedicated module for all the other shit, I can widen this out and make it a proper moon pool only module. We're just in. Remember when I got started and built the shallow water base back in the tropical area with all the coral, and it was just this little module to start with, and it was all I had in the world. And there was just no choice but to proceed from there and try to cram everything necessary for life into this tiny little space. Weird, the doors are different. If you make them out of different wood, the doors turn out different. I didn't know that. I didn't know. So I was thinking about YouTube recently and how fucking wild it is that some guy who just does scary game videos and silly voices became as popular as he did. Because YouTube is basically like a new replacement for TV networks, and yet PewDiePie has like 67 million subscribers. He just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and God, I wish that was me. I'm not even going to disguise my jealousy. Would you not? Goddamn fucking zombies. I really need to build that protection system. There. Now I'll build the rest of the fences because apparently I need them right away. God, I fucking hate underwater zombies. Fuck you. Alright, let's take care of this once and for all. Why are there so many? Why are there so many? I need to eat. Yeah, look at that open door right into the ocean. Nothing comes through. That's fine. That's fine. I usually top up my food supply little by little anyway, so maybe kelp will actually be okay. I don't know yet. I think it probably will, actually. And if shit floats to the surface down here, it's just gone. Because of how far it is to the surface. I'm not chasing after it like I did in the shallows. What the fuck? There was a door there. Where did the door go? Did I just hallucinate that? Okay. There, this will keep the zombies out. The zombarinos. Now I can start to expand to the next module, where the next module is going to go. Hang on, I may have made a mistake. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this one has to be a full pillar, a full block. And finally the place where I can do all this work from the bottom. I don't need to keep like pogoing up and down between the surface and the deep. I can't tell you how gratifying that is, because I would get demonetized. Seems like half the fucking content on YouTube now is people complaining about YouTube's policies, which should be a sign to them to fucking change their shit around, but they're not going to do it because the viewers were only ever a vehicle to make money for them. Am I going to need those? Isn't this going to be a mining module? I don't know yet, honestly. How large am I? I can't make a very large one because that hill is in the way. Unless I go and scoop it out. I don't want to have to do that, but I'm down here anyway, and I'm going to be harvesting seafloor sand anyway. So it may as well come from places I actually don't want the sand to be. And actually, wait a minute. Now I have the shit I need to smelt sand into glass on the seafloor too. This is exciting. It fixed almost all the shit that was wrong with the ocean. It just made it way the fuck harder to live here. Now let's clear this out. So I was looking on Craigslist. That was my first mistake. For electric motorcycles, and it's so sad. It's so tempting. Like, I don't have the money for anything right now. I have the money for rent and utilities and maybe food, maybe. But there are so many nice electric motorcycles, like reputable brands, that are being sold used for rock bottom prices. And it hurts that I can't afford them. I hate being poor. I fucking hate being poor. You can be happy in any period in history if you were rich. Being rich never sucked. This guy. Wait, does dirt... Dirt does not float. How come dirt is not more buoyant than stone? This is weird. Although I'm really appreciating the scenery outside, because when you lived underwater in the past, it used to just look like the surface of the moon. There was nothing. There was fucking nothing except gravel and the odd bit of stone. I'm gonna sleep it off. Just for better visibility. Because see, when you have the sky for contrast, when you're looking up, you can see much more easily. At least this makes sense. The other one had a window and water wasn't coming through. It still doesn't make sense that I can open it and water doesn't rush in. There's not a lot of space down here. I may have fucked up. I think I did fuck up. Uh-oh, my shovel's already busted. That sucks. That'll make a little bit of room. Uh-oh. I maybe should have built further to this side. Over here. Because there's room over here. And that would have created more room. Because look at all that space there. Hold on. Maybe there's a way to fix this. Let's see. Because look, there's this big clearing. It's just lopsided that way. Oh, there's exposed sand. Well, that was... I mean, stone. That was always going to happen. Fuck. My placement could have been a little better. This is what I've got to work with. I'm not going to build it again. Let's see. What the fuck? That's all I got done in that time? This is why it would have been impossible to build any more than that one pod the way that I was doing it before. Just diving down. I think it's going to be the mining module, because I need a mining module. I'm going to run out of materials really quick. Materials. Let's see. In which case, these don't need to be legs, actually. Could you not switch what's in my hand? Let me go down there and scoop all that shit up and try to recycle as much as I can. It's going to look like a trash heap on the surface. It's not like it's possible to live underwater stealthily anyway. You shine like a Christmas tree at night. That's why it's not the stealth that makes you safe on a faction server. It's the fact that they can't blow shit up that's underwater. That's pretty much the entire thing that keeps you safe. Because on a faction server, in order to get past land ownership, in order to destroy blocks and get through barriers and shit, they would lure creepers. And there's no creepers underwater, for one thing. For another thing, TNT cannons don't work because anything explosive doesn't work underwater. which is like total is not very accurate. I mean, water being denser than air actually would cause more harm if there was a grenade in the water near you. At least I've got this hallway done. I don't feel like that's much though. Eating some seafood. Kill me. Let's light that up. And it's going to be... This is where the mine shaft is going to be. May as well carve it out now. One of these is going to be... You'll see what I'm doing in a second. It'll make sense to me as well. I'm just now learning. And then I also want the other blocks around it to be stone to explain how there's a seal with the seafloor. I don't mean seal like the animal. I mean why water doesn't get into the mine shaft. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. I didn't think of that. I thought they could be half slabs. They can't be. There. And that will create the mine shaft. This is for sure going to continue, so I can just do this, I guess? This? This is going to be kind of wonky, but so be it. And these go over here. See, that's the support. That's why it doesn't need legs. Because having legs around that so close to it would look really clustered and ugly. And that connection to the seafloor is enough of a support. In fact, when you have a structure underwater full of air, it's pulling up. So these are not legs. They don't support the weight of it. They're restraints to keep it from floating. Go. Can't waste any glass, so I'm going to put dirt here. Is this dirt? No, these are... That's fucking confusing. They're the same exact color as dirt. And then... I guess I could just turn this into one long module, but it would look ugly. See how fast this is going now that I have a base down here to work from? It's almost like there's a method to my madness. This is why having the space station is so handy for doing anything on orbit. And why the space shuttle was handy before it. Although the space shuttle was basically just a dinky space station that we could recover. We could send to space and then get the entire thing back. Let's see. I need another door. And why 3D printers are so fucking important in space. Because otherwise, all the shit that little dinky parts that would break down, you would need an entire subsequent launch, a resupply launch, just to get new replacements for that one part. Whereas if it's a plastic part or a metal part, because there are printable metals, you can just print one now. I don't think this will work. I think this is full of water. I think according to the new rules, that's gonna flood my thing. Could you not, zombie? Could we do this another day? I might actually branch off in this direction if there's space. It looks like there is. Why wouldn't I, is the question. There, I have a mining module now, which is where I'm going to put all my ovens and my workbench. And probably my chest eventually. This goes here, 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 here. Although I might want to put the ovens up there. I think I do, in fact. I've done this before and it was a good setup. I don't have enough stone. Well, I have a mine now, so I can just go get more stone. How you like that? Did that all go into my inventory? Holy shit. What's going on with my inventory? Where's my workbench? Where's my... There it is. That's good enough. Oh, there's a fucking zombie under me. Go away, go away. Go away, go away, go away. Zombie man. Need another chest. And another workbench. For symmetry. Remember that episode of Full House where they went to Hawaii? It was like a big budget, double length event. And Joey, that like pedophile man child who they let live in their basement around their 3 adolescent daughters. Like there was this hot Hawaiian chick, like stereotypical racial caricature of a Hawaiian chick in like coconut bikini or something. And she like was winking at him and flirting and nobody would believe that she was real. And he spent the whole episode like trying to find her. Like his best prospect was a random woman, apparently, who flirted with him mildly on a trip to Hawaii that he'll never see again after that trip. That bears some thinking about. I need to make my garden. I need to make a garden. Well, actually, the first thing I need to do is get the mine fully set up. I have everything I need. I just need sticks. I need a shitload of sticks. I don't normally advocate for digging straight down for obvious reasons, but it can't really be helped this time. Because it's not like I'm on land where I can do it from different angles. I kind of have to go straight down the shaft. This is going to make a big difference. This is going to make all the difference in the world, being able to source my ores from the seafloor. It irritates the fuck out of me that I still have to get wood from shore. But that's not going to last. Look at this view from underneath that I get here. This is so cool. So I was Googling, and apparently electric motorbikes go back to 1973. There was a company called Synthetic. I'm going to write an article about it. That made a 24-volt mini bike. It's like a little supermoto. Like those Super 73s that you see electric bicycle makers flogging these days. Even though it's actually a really bad frame for a bicycle. And it just ran on 2 lead acid car batteries. Mining under the seafloor. Nothing at all dangerous about this. Let's see. I might want a chest down there as well, just to put extra ladder in. But I also don't want to build anything underground. I'm not here to build an underground. But that was a problem I had when I had a lot of other people living underwater with me in this game, and in a survival, in an SMP server, was that they all wanted to expand, but they didn't want to do the work of expanding properly. They just wanted somewhere to put their shit. So they would, this is not going to work. That's all going to collapse. What is this? What am I looking at? Okay, hold on. Why does it do that? There we go. Hopefully that will prevent the collapse from happening. Did I leave that? No, I didn't leave him. Good, that would have been really dumb. I don't want to go too deep, because I'm already pretty deep as it is. Uh-oh. Well, how could I reach that? Am I magic? Am I actually magic? Why is it a different texture than it was? So many confusing questions. Yeah, remember the Insane Clown Posse song about miracles? They caught so much shit for that, I almost feel sorry for them. I mean, they weren't trying to hurt anybody, they were just dumb. Water, fire, air, dirt, fucking magnets, how did they work? People got mad because there's answers to those questions, and they were acting like it was unanswerable, and that scientists couldn't be trusted. That's apparently a really widely held view of sort of dumb rural people, is that's where flat earther shit is coming from. That's where, like, don't take your child to a doctor is coming from, is people who just don't trust science. Science tells them their religion is wrong, and scientists go, you know, on record against racism in PSAs and say it's okay to be gay. And there's a lot of scientists taking leftist political stances now, and it's backfiring. Instead of persuading more people to take those stances, it's persuading more people to reject science, which was not. I assume it wasn't the intended outcome. Yeah, this is the basis of my mind, and there's a lot of fucking gravel here. I hate that. That's not fair. I can expand in other directions first, though. I didn't want to make it too deep because I didn't want to have to go down the ladder for a fucking hour just to get there. And 6 should be plenty to start with. If it isn't, then I'm doing something wrong, which is a good bet in general. Let's see what the situation is looking like. Situation is looking like Like if I expand one more unit this way, then I can start expanding that way. And maybe make an entire tree dome over there. That seems like a pretty good strategy, I think. Hmm. May have to expand further than that, though. I don't think so. I don't think so. I guess I'll see. Da 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 da. So do you ever have a fantasy life that you would live in a decade before you were born? Like all the cool shit you would have and be geared out with if it was the 60s or the 70s? Like what 8-track player you would own and what car you would have? And you do like design a lifestyle for yourself had you been born earlier? Like if I was born in the if I don't want to say born in the 70s, but if I was making decent money, I was like in my 20s or early 30s in the 70s, I'd want a Vanguard city car. I don't care how dorky they look, or one of the similar little electric cars they were making back then because of the oil crisis. I'd want that little electric 1973 motorbike. Just have all electric shit when nobody else did. Now it's not that uncommon anymore. It's not even fun to be like, yeah, it's electric, and they're like, whoa, because nobody's impressed. They've already heard about it. It's everywhere. Let's see, I'm gonna need that as well. I like that I'm now. I better swim to the surface and gather that kelp. There's gonna be a lot of kelp up there, and also just to see my work so far. Wow, wow. I think I'm gonna destroy this one over here pretty soon. Wow, there's no kelp. I expected there to be kelp. Let me try to transport all this shit out of here first. This was only ever a base for the express purpose of building the other one. So don't freak out on me that I'm destroying it. Okay, gotta transplant this all to the other chests. No, dolphin wife. There's no time for Nookie now. The normies are watching. There's a lot of resources that would be wasted if I just let them stay down there. Stay in that fucking little pod. This is going to become my main base, so there's really no need. Although it does make cool scenery to have that pod up there. Visible from this one. Maybe I need to rethink this. I don't know. I'm probably going to put most of this back in my inventory in like 2 seconds, so I don't know why I'm doing this. This feels right. It feels so right. This I'll never need again. It's wooden. This. I need that all the time. I'll go back up for another load. Because the whole point of this base is to be as far removed as possible from the surface, so I don't want there to be an easy way down here. Destroy that. Destroy that. Destroy that. This is going to go over time too. I'm going to quit after I destroy this base. Don't be sad to see it go, because I'm going to build a lot more than what you see here down in the deep sea biome. Oops. It's going to take a while to destroy most of this. I wonder if I can do it in a way where I'm in air most of the time while destroying the shit. Here's a pod of dolphins coming my way. Like, finally, that fucking asshole is moving out. I'm not moving out, I'm just moving deeper. Deeper. I can make this larger. So I can destroy the legs easy. And I'll have to come up here with some sand to fill that in, because otherwise it'll drive me crazy. Do I have any sand? No, I don't. I'm gonna go down to the deeper base and grab a little bit of sand. It should not be hovering like this. No structure this buoyant would ever just stay underwater by itself. I wish. That's my dearest fantasy. Nothing to do with hot, naked, chicks. Nothing normal like that. No, my dearest fantasy is for buoyancy to work differently. There we go. Because, when you're a kid, you don't know about this shit. You think you can just put a regular house underwater. Maybe with some, like, sealant. And it would just work. And it would be an underwater house. You don't understand the physical forces involved. And you'll see that the way the water works in this game is that once the glass part on top is destroyed, it'll fall. The water will fall down to fill up the rest of the space. It's weird. Water would not behave that way in real life, but which is asking too much from Minecraft. But at the same time, it makes it counterintuitive. See what's happening here? They made it a little better. Now, see what happened? It rushed to fill the rest of the remaining space. So it can fill up, it can flood small areas now, the way that water ought to. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. Because that's the number one thing people say on these videos. If you go to my old underwater base videos before most people built underwater bases, they'll say, "Hee, I'm going to come down there and poke one hole in the roof." I'm like, knock yourself out, idiot. Water only spreads 7 blocks. That'll accomplish fucking nothing. Also, I think 70s me would probably want to hook up with 70s Bjork. She's still hot, frankly, but she was like super hot back then. I don't know how old she was, don't come after me. She's just a cutie. Like that interview where she's taking apart a TV and explaining how it looks like a city. She's freaking adorable. I need to get up to the surface. This is going to be difficult now that there's no air in there. See how fucking hard it is to work underwater when there's no source to replenish your air from? Which I guess should make sense. Anybody else in the comments who plays Minecraft in VR, am I wrong that having played it in VR, it feels weird and janky and just incorrect to play it on a screen? VR seems like the natural way to play any 3D game because you're seeing it in stereoscopic 3D. Whereas on a screen, you're sitting in a chair and you're conscious of it and you're hunched over a little flat rectangle looking at a two-dimensional representation of a 3D world. People are like, oh, well, VR is just screens on your eyes. Yeah, but it doesn't look that way. That's not the experience of using it. It feels like you're looking into the world. People don't want to hear that because the people who can't afford it don't want it to be that good because they don't want to be missing out. Well, look, hold on. There's a bunch of deep sea biome space over here too. I may not have picked the biggest deep sea biome, but you see, there's area over this way. Here, I've completely destroyed it. There's no trace that it was ever here. Let me scout this way. I would kind of have to build diagonal. No, wait, I don't have to. If I extend this way, I can extend that way, but it would have to be like an ugly zigzag. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Oh, he fucking got in through my fence. You son of a bitch. Zombie fences only work if you leave them closed. I'm getting a lot of tridents. I wonder what I'm going to do with them. Ah, I should kill more zombies and get the gold that I need. The gold! To fucking build that clock and just put a clock down here so I always know what time it is. I know what time it is, shawty. That's most of the stuff stashed away. I wish I could do something useful with these tridents besides just hoard them. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to end it here because I've got the mining module built. I've got the original module destroyed. I've got everything set up, and I've got the mine. Crucially, I have the mine set up. So I can actually start to dig out my own ores from the bottom of the ocean instead of having to go to the surface all the time for something that I can get down here. Anyway, that's all for this time. Click like and subscribe. Make me rich like PewDiePie. I'll remember you.